What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here for Sistas, Season 5, Episode 19. I don't know. I didn't get the title of this episode, you guys, but it'll be right there on the screen, and it'll be in the description as well. It'll be in the title on the video, and it'll be titled on the channel, on the video. You guys click on it. This episode, so sorry, you guys, that I haven't done the last two episodes. The last two episodes for me I was hella annoyed with both of them, to be quite honest with you. I was quite annoyed with this. I was annoyed with this one, but not as much. But before we get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out in this dating habit. Me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss Sistas, shall we? All right, you guys, so much like the Oval, this video won't be that long, but I might be able to get more out of Sistas than I did the Oval. Maybe not, because there were some scenes that really annoyed me to no avail, and they actually happened in the first few minutes of the episode. So this episode, we pick up with Karen getting off the elevator, and she overheard the conversation with Andy and Fatima, where Andy was telling Fatima not to let Karen get between she and Zach, and I absolutely agree with Andy on that one, right? So if it's not Andy, but Karen says that she came to apologize to Andy. I was like, you're only coming because Aaron told you that you needed to apologize to Andy. You didn't feel that you did anything wrong to Andy. And the issue that I have with Karen is the fact that when it comes to Karen, I feel like Karen, you know, she gets upset with Andy talking about the fact that Andy doesn't tell her things that pertains to Zach and Fatima. But Andy has actually been a good friend. Andy doesn't tell you anything that pertains to Zach and Fatima, and Andy doesn't tell them anything that pertains to you. She didn't tell them that you were pregnant with Zach's baby. She didn't say that. She didn't tell you that they were engaged. So Andy's actually been a good friend. Andy actually read Karen and let her know that. She put her foot down with Karen talking about she's tired of it. And I don't blame Andy, because each time, with Karen is just pure fucking jealousy. Let's be real. When it comes to Karen, all it is with Karen is that she's jealous that Zach has moved on from her, right? So then, you know, Andy told Fatima about the picture situation, and Fatima told Karen, like, she didn't tell you because I was the one that got upset about the picture. And so Karen said, well, I didn't send it to you. And Fatima was like, I don't know that. She says, well, I'm telling you that. And Fatima said, again, bitch, I don't know you. So then Karen said that, you know, she did kiss Zach, but it was on the cheek, and she gave him a hug. And so Fatima was like, why did you do that? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you if you keep having this attitude. Technically, she didn't have an attitude, but okay, Karen, set yourself off, right? But, you know, she did tell Fatima that she did it because, you know, Zach had given her, you know, gave her the child support offer, right? And that she's moving on with Aaron. Girl, please move on with Aaron and leave me, Fatima, all of us, leave us the hell alone. Girl, you are so miserable, right? So then she's talking about the fact that what happened at the restaurant with Zach, that Zach was wrong for that, right? And absolutely, I know I didn't review that episode, but yes, Zach was wrong for, you know, hitting Aaron. Now that fight, you guys, let's talk about that fight just real fast, like, right? I want Tyler Perry to do something better with his fight scenes, because they're horrible. I ain't never saw somebody get into a fight and they'll have a cut or a scratch or a bruise or a bloody lip or something, right? Zach and Aaron got up from that fight unscathed. Never saw it before. And they were punching the shit out of each other, but okay, neither here nor there, right? So Karen was like, she wanted to talk to Andy alone, and Andy was like, Fatima's staying. Fatima was like, you know what, I'll go home. So after Fatima left, actually, Karen eventually apologized to Andy. And I was like, Andy, if you accept that apology, you's a fool. But she accepted it. I wouldn't have accepted it. Me personally, I just wouldn't have accepted that apology from Karen, because I would think that Karen is full of bullshit. That is exactly who Karen is, and that's exactly who Karen is going to continue to be. A miserable, bitter person. But let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys, so here comes a scene that really annoyed me. This scene with Gary and Hayden, right? I'm so over Gary and I'm so over Hayden. So I'm gonna try to say I'm a breeze through this scene because it infuriated me, right? Because Gary is not changing. Gary is staying the same. So Gary called Hayden up to tell Hayden that he found out that Robin does have the money, and he got it on a wire transfer. So then he tells him the person's name that transferred the money to him because he has a connect. And so Hayden was like, I know that name. Like, Andy represented him in a divorce. So he's like, oh, so it's like a loan shark. So what does it have to do with you, Gary? I know what it has to do with Gary. Gary is jealous. He's territorial, right? So he wants Robin to go back to London to get away from Andy. But then he doesn't want to believe that Andy linked Robin with this loan shark. I was like, oh my God. So, Jesus. So after Gary hung up the phone with Hayden, right? He called Andy up to ask Andy, can he come by her place? And like the bird Andy is, she said yes. I was like, Andy, you are so fucking stupid. Jesus Christ, Andy gets on my damn nerves. So then we move over to Fatima. So Fatima went home, right? And Zach was still there, and Zach is very apologetic for what happened between he and Fatima. Now I do want to bring that up real quick as well. So the last episode, when they got back to the house, they got into it, right? And she told Zach to sleep on the couch, and Zach said he's not sleeping on the couch in his house. I think Fatima took that the wrong way. I know how she took it. She took it as Zach saying that this is my house, this is not your house. I feel like what Zach was just saying was, I ain't sleeping on no damn couch in my home. I mean, that's like what any husband and wife, like, I'm not gonna sleep on no damn couch in my home. He could have said our house, but he said my home, which it is, technically, right? It's their house, but he just said to you, I'm not sleeping on a couch in my home. But I get how she felt, but I still don't think he meant it in the way that she took it, right? But Fatima eventually decided to stay, right? So then the next morning we move over to Aaron. So Aaron has fixed breakfast for Karen. Karen tells him she's sick, so she can't really eat the food, and she apologizes and thanks him for the situation with Zach, right? He tells her it's okay. And then she told him that, I went and apologized to Andy last night, and Fatima was there. He said, how'd that go? She said it went. So then she said, do you think you're going to see Zach at the court? He said, maybe. She says, well, be careful. I was like, oh. Okay. Let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So next up, you guys, Bayo, whatever the hell his name is. He called Sabrina. Now, Sabrina called him to ask him for the money for Maurice. $1.5 million, right? He told her no. Now he's had a change of heart. I was like, Sabrina, are you stupid or are you stupid? Because, girl, I feel like if he gives you this $1.5 million, he wants something in return. But Sabrina's going right along with it. He asked her, can he come over? She says, yeah. Well, what time do you want to come over? I can come over shortly. Well, I did a terrible accent, but he can come over shortly. And I was like, Sabrina, you're stupid. So Calvin was laying on the bed asleep, right? She woke Calvin up. Told Calvin that Bayo is coming over. Bayo, whatever the hell his name is. He's coming over. Calvin got in his feelings. I was like, Calvin, why are you in your feelings? You're not in a relation with her. Now, granted, I'm with Calvin about the fact that they were at his restaurant and he disrespected him. I'm on your side with that one, Calvin, but you are not in a relationship with Sabrina. What are we doing here? So, Bayo, he eventually came over, right? And he told Sabrina he would do it. So Sabrina called Andy. He's telling her that she got the money. So she's like, what do we have to do? She says, well, give me his number and I'll text him the information, right? So then she asked her, Andy said to her, huh? When she told her she got the money, she's like, wait, who was giving it to you? A friend. She was like, really? So then she asked her, who is this friend? And, she's like, yeah, thank you. She's like, you can't talk about it, can you? She's like, yeah. This show, you guys. I don't like, so when it comes to Sistas, I just don't like the way that Tyler writes the women. I don't. I don't like the way he writes Andy. I don't like the way he writes Fatima. I don't like the way he writes Karen. And let me go down the line of what I don't like about him, right? So when it comes to Andy, the thing for me with Andy that I don't like is Andy is a successful, intelligent, educated black woman, but the thing with Andy is, one, she plays on her sex appeal, which nothing's wrong with that, right? She plays upon her sex appeal in the way that she dresses, and she flirts heavily with so many men, right? And again, I don't have any issue with a woman being in tune with her sexuality, right? I love it. I applaud it, right? But it just kind of contradicts right? Like I said, she's an educated black woman and she's an attorney. But he writes Andy as if she's a bird, she's desperate. And actually, I think, if we're being honest, I feel like Andy has a self-esteem issue. I wish, when it comes to Andy, I wish that he wrote her. I'm gonna give you guys two examples of female attorneys on shows that was a ensemble cast of black women that I think that they wrote them very well. Maxine Shaw from Living Single, they wrote Max very well. Max was playful and whatnot, but in that courtroom, baby, we saw who Max really was. Joan Carol Clayton from Girlfriends, right? Joan had her issues. Joan was Joan had her rules about sex and everything, but you saw the progression of Joan over the years because she started to change. Andy is staying stagnant, right? Fatima is nothing but the angry black woman. That's all Fatima is an angry black woman. A stereotype. Karen is another stereotype. Karen is the bitter baby mama. That's what Karen's gonna be. Karen's gonna be the bitter baby mama. Another stereotype. I don't even want to get into Sabrina, because Sabrina they just dumbed Sabrina down. And I think all of these women are educated. Danny is the bumbling fat friend. That's all Danny is the bumbling, high, drunk, fat friend. Now she's not fat. She's not fat, but that's her character type. And I just don't like I just don't like how he writes any of these women. I want him to employ some black women to write this show better. That's all I ask. Did we pause? No, we didn't. Let's pause here. We're gonna wrap up because I'm already over this. Andy and Gary, you guys. Andy and Gary both annoy the shit out of me, right? So Andy is getting ready for work, and Gary is there as well. So Gary tells her he's gonna be coming to his office, and she's like, huh? He's like, and don't play like you don't know. She's like, what? So he tells her he knows that she's the one that helped Robin get the money. So she tells him that, she's so close to being, a partner. I don't know if it's a junior partner or if it's a senior partner, but she's so close to partnership, right? And what he and his investors are trying to do, that would derail her, right? So then she asks him, why is he doing this? You know why he's doing this. He's jealous of Robin. And for some odd reason, that turned Andy on. I was like, bitch, you gotta be playing with me. Oh, God. Maurice. So Maurice called Calvin, and Calvin told Maurice that Sabrina may be able to get the money to get him out of jail, right? And he tells him bail. He's like, wait a minute, she fucking him? And he said, Maurice. He said, you fucking her too. I was like, oh, God. And that's another character that I don't like the way Tyler writes it. Maurice. Not every gay man is like that. Maurice is the stereotypical gay man, and I just don't like it. So Maurice did tell, what's his name, Calvin, about the guy that's in his cell. Calvin told him to be careful. Calvin told him that Sabrina's supposed to call him back to let him know if Bale's going to give her the money, and he says to call me back in an hour. Fatima. So Fatima and Zach, they had a conversation the next morning, right? He apologizes about the night before, and he says, he fucked up and he hurt her, and he'll do better, right? He also says he'll go put her name on the deed to the house. She says you don't have to do that. Then she got a phone call from Tamara, I believe that's that girl's name. And so she told him that Heather's gonna call him and that Hayden's gonna drop her because Tamara is that good and she's working that man. I don't understand that storyline either, but okay, I guess. And lastly, you guys, Danny. I'm not even finna go deep into this scene with Danny because I really hated this entire scene. So Danny slept with Q. They had a little back and forth. He wanted to take a shower. She told him to go take a shower. He wanted her to come shower with him. She said take a shower. He went to the shower. She got a phone call from Preston. Preston wants to come see her that morning. She said no. He said maybe later. She said yes, maybe later. So then she hung up the phone with him. Sabrina came in. My issue with Sabrina, my issue with all these women is y'all have keys to y'all's friends' apartments. Why don't y'all knock on the door and be asked in instead of just opening my motherfucking door? You don't know who I'm in here with. And Sabrina found out the hard way who Danny was in there with because she found Q. And that's where the episode ended, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, and share the video. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.